Hey guys, this is the information for your final project for science. So we'll still do our normal lesson on Thursday, where you'll have a chance to ask me some more questions and things like that. But this is just some information about what the final project is and what it looks like. So this is the document that you're used to seeing. We've got a reflection about last class, the last project on sugar and one of the ones you chose. Um, so it's just a bit of information about my feedback. There's also this video, which you're watching right now. So that's on Edpuzzle. And then this is the next section that requires a bit more explanation. So the um, the setup is pretty much the same. You're going to choose a science experiment that you want to do at home based on the things that you have and your own interests. And then you're going to fill in this document. So I'm going to make a copy of this for everybody so you have your own. And you can fill it in right in the document and then submit it that way. And when you click on this link, it just takes you down below here to this new kind of format that we're going to use for this final project. So it's just in the same document here. You see I'm scrolling down, and it's got some links for some examples of science projects you can do at home. You can search yourself, obviously, or maybe you have one in your that you remember from before that you want to try to do again, or that you've seen somebody do that you want to do. But these are just some examples from websites that I found. And this is where you're going to record some information about your project. So an introduction so that I know what's going to happen. Okay, so I want you to write this out right here below this section. What materials do you need? And that includes everything. If it's being done in a cup or a bowl, or you need some things to mix it up, every instrument that you need needs to be listed here. The procedure is the steps that you're going to take to the finest detail, right? Like heat up the water or stir 10 times or something like that. Okay, so all of the different steps that you take are going here. Then you're going to do your experiment. In this section, you're just going to record it and make some notes about it. You don't actually need to write anything down. You're just going to conduct the experiment. Okay, and then you're going to do some research to find why your particular experiment works or happens the way it does. Okay, so I want you to find two different sources. You need to post the links here, and then you're going to make some notes about what those sources were saying about your experiment. Why was it happening the way that it did? Why, like for the fire snake example, carbon dioxide was being produced, it was melting the sugar, and then it created this kind of foamy carbon colored snake, this black snake. So you need to do some research in this section, finding two sources and making a few notes about what they say for your particular experiment. Okay, and then this is where you're going to write at least 5 sentences, it says, about your final thoughts as to why your project works the way it does. Okay, so this is also going to be included in your video for your Flipgrid. Okay, so the first part of your video on Flipgrid is going to show the experiment happening. Maybe it's live action, maybe it's just a few of the bits of the procedure and then the result. But then I also want your explanation at the end of that video. Okay, so it's helpful to do this whole thing first. I think you might have to wait to do the experiment at the end, but you can do all of these steps before actually doing the experiment. And then you're going to record your video and share it onto Flipgrid, okay, like we've done before. So your video is going to have your experiment and your explanation, and then you're going to also reply to other people's, okay? And I'm really going to be focusing on whether or not you're telling them something that you really liked, something genuine, not like, oh, that was a great video, thanks. Something specific, and then also something that they could make, something that they could do to make it better. All right, so all of the information is in this document. You're going to complete these steps here by adding some of your own notes and you'll submit this piece to me as well as the Flipgrid and your reply. Okay, that's what I'm looking for when I'm grading. There's also a rubric down here for some of the information about how we grade in science. But if you can just complete all of these things to the best of your ability, then you will be absolutely fine. But if you just write one sentence and you do your experiment very quickly, or you choose one that's really not that interesting and not that challenging, then your grade is not going to be as good as it could be, because I'm looking for you to try something interesting and challenging for you, and show me that by filling in this document and recording uh, your explanation on Flipgrid. Okay? So good luck with it. I will see you in the lesson. But yeah, this is the last thing you'll have to do for science. And if you can do it really, really well, then I'll be that much happier. So thanks, guys, and I will see you soon.